AITA for taking my stepson to see the doctor without my husband's permission? I, 25F, live with my husband, 29M, and my stepson, 7M. My husband has full custody of my stepson Riley. Riley has always been a late bloomer. When I started dating my husband, Riley was 5 and he still took naps even though most children grow out of them by then. When he turned 6, he stopped needing naps during the day except when he was sick, or did a lot of physical activity. Riley also has ADHD, so do I, so I know the hyperactivity can tire children out sometimes. A few weeks ago, Riley has started taking naps again for around an hour a day. He also began falling asleep on car rides. The length of time he napped kept increasing and he now naps for 3 hours a day, meaning that he's asleep for 13 to 14 hours a day. I usually pick him up from school, and his teacher tells me that he's exhausted and yawning the whole day. I became extremely concerned and told my husband that Riley needed to see a doctor, but he didn't think it was serious. He thought that Riley was sleeping more because he was growing booty, was still worried. I admittedly don't know much about children as I'm the youngest on both sides of my family, but I spoke to my parents, in-laws, and searched online, and y'all said it was weird. My in-laws did mention that my husband slept a lot as a child, but not to the extent that my stepson does. My husband still didn't want to take Riley to see the doctor. I decided to make an appointment for Riley anyway, and he saw the doctor yesterday. The doctor very concerned, and he arranged a blood test for next week, and he also gave me a list of foods to cook for Riley to improve his energy levels. When I told my husband, he was pissed off that I had gone behind his back about his son's healthcare. He wants me to apologize, but I believe I was acting in Riley's best interest. Most people I've spoken to Javi said that I was wrong because Riley isn't my son, but I would like Reddit's opinion. AITA?
AITA for charging my brother a professional design fee for his restaurant? Last 2021, I, F, 29, opened a restaurant in a different city and asked my brother, M, 35, to help me improve a pasta recipe. He is currently running my parents' restaurant, so of course, I didn't think much of it because I am also my parents' daughter. He didn't respond to my messages until one day I received a long message from him stating all his hard work and that eventually we'd be competitors. Never did I think he would decline because I am still part owner of that family business, and stated he would not give me what he worked so hard for. My parents didn't really make a big deal out of it and defended him even. Well, at least I know where I stand in the family. 2 years have passed. My business is evidently stable, no thanks to them. Now he, my brother, is opening a new restaurant. Given that I am the architect in the family, they are now asking me to design for free to help my older brother build his restaurant. But since he declined my simple request last time, am I AmItheAsshole for declining his request now? Please enlighten me.
AITA for telling my stepson to stop talking about his dad? My wife and I got married last summer. I have a son, 14, and a daughter, 12, with my ex-wife, and my wife has a son, 7, with her ex-husband. We all moved in together in late 2021. My kids get along great with their stepbrother and they adore me wife. I have had a trickier time bonding with my stepson. We have my kids every other week and my stepson goes to his dad's every other weekend. My stepson is a massive daddy's boy. His dad takes him on some kind of adventure every weekend they're together. He is always talking about what he is going to do with his dad or what he and his dad did at the weekend. Which is annoying but fine. However, recently he keeps comparing me to his dad, saying things his dad would do differently or telling me his dad can do something so I should be able to too. Last weekend we went camping, which is something we've not really done before as a family. When it came to building a campfire, my stepson started complaining I was doing it wrong. I was following a YouTube tutorial and tried to interfere with what I was doing. Then he said, "How are you a man don't even know how to make a fire," before going on to talk about how his dad could light a fire with a stick. I was already stressed about the whole weekend and I ended up snapping at him and telling to shut up about his dad. Obviously, I was in the wrong for snapping. After finishing the fire, I went to apologize to him and let him know I was in the wrong for talking to him like that. I did, however, reaffirm that I like it if he stopped talking about his dad so much. Later in the week he must have said something to my wife about not being allowed to mention his dad. She is now mad at me for having this discussion with him even though I know she finds it annoying as well. In truth, I have always felt self-conscious about my wife's ex-husband, as he is very stereotypically masculine guy, ex-Marine, and I'm the opposite. My wife's sister called me an overcorrection to my face a few months into dating. It's also frustrating to see how much my stepson idolizes his dad when he doesn't know how much his dad hurt his mom. He cheated on her, was abusive, and continued to financially abuse her post-separation. His dad has refused to have any custody time with his son, and even when we went on our honeymoon last year, he sent his son to his mom's rather than look after him himself. I know how much it hurts my wife to see her son favor his dad when he does the bare minimum as a father and damaged her so badly. AITA for suggesting he stops talking about his dad so much? AITA for calling myself a single mom? Throwaway. I, 30F, am the mother of a beautiful little girl, 7F. When my daughter was about 1, I discovered that her father had been cheating on me. We ended up separating and he fled the state in order to avoid paying child support. No one in our social circle has heard from him ever since. Evan thought the whole situation was devastating. I have an amazing family that has been there for me every step of the way. Since my ex-boyfriend was the sole breadwinner and led without any warning, I had to start providing for me and my daughter. Luckily, my parents let me and daughter stay with them rent-free until I could get back on my feet. My parents are very rich, so you understand I had a lot of privileges that most mothers in my position don't have. For the past years, my daughter and I have been happily living together in an apartment. I work full-time at a nursing home and my daughter is thriving at her school. On to the issue. I recently created a new FB account after a few of my coworkers forced me to, lol. On me FB account, I've posted several pics of me and my daughter. I also describe myself as a happy, devoted single mom. I honestly never thought there was anything wrong, misleading with this description. I am a single mother and have been for several years. One of my coworkers, who is also a single mother, took great offense to my FB bio. She texted me a couple days ago and started going off on me. She said that I had no right to claim that I'm a single mother, when I've never had to deal with the hardships that come along with the title. I was really confused and I explained that I am a single mother and she has no idea what I've gone through over the years. She snapped back. Have you ever had to sacrifice a meal so your child could eat? No. Have you ever had to beg and panhandle for measly sums of change to buy diapers? No. Have you ever had to rely on government assistance, only to walk away with some food stamps? No. Have you ever cried yourself to sleep night after night, terrified that your lights were going to be shut off? No. None of that happened to you because you had mommy and daddy's money to bail you out every step of the way. You don't know what being a single mother is really like, so quit acting like you do. I was really shaken up by what my coworker said. I still don't think calling myself a single mom is inappropriate in any way, but now I'm not so sure. AITA for telling my brother he will most likely never have twins. I, 23F, come from a family with a large amount of twins. I know, how very Reddit. I've always heard from family that apparently it's hereditary. I always thought it was bullshit until I did a bit of research and found out that fraternal twin can be hereditary but only really for women and from the mother's side. My brother, 20M, seems to have clung on to that. Thinks he will have twins when he has kids. He seems weirdly proud of it. IDKY, having twins sounds like a nightmare. He was talking about IT recently and I told him that it's likely he will never have twins since it's only really hereditary for women. He took offense to that and had a little fit. My mom seems to think I should have kept my mouth and not burst his bubble. AITA
for uninviting my daughter's autistic classmate to her birthday party. I needed to get some unbiased opinions, and a friend suggested I post here. Hopefully everyone can help. I, 37M, am a single father to my daughter, 8, who will be turning 9 this Saturday. I'll call her. G decided she wanted pool party birthday party at our house. I plan on doing other activities as well, such as bounce houses, cookout, s'mores, movie, by the pool, make your own cookies, etc. Followed by a sleepover with some of her friends. It's gonna be a busy day, and there'll be roughly 30 kids at my house. Some parents are staying, and some are just dropping off their kids and picking them up later. I'm fine with this. I let G invited whoever she wanted, and she chose to invite a classmate, A, that is autistic. I'm fine with this, as I've always taught G not to judge others based on their differences. Here is where my dilemma comes into play. A's mother called me last week to ask if it would okay just to drop off him and pick him up the next day so he could attend the sleepover. My problem is I have no experience with an autistic child, and my understanding is A is very low functioning. He's prone to getting easily overwhelmed and will start to shut down, outburst. I told A's mom that I wouldn't be comfortable with him being there by himself as I would be too busy with everything else going on and am inexperienced with autistic children. A's mother got really upset with me, telling me I don't understand how hard it is for single moms to get alone time, and how A would be devastated that he wouldn't be able to attend and how happy he was to attend a party, since he rarely gets invited to things. Among other things. A's mom is now going around saying I uninvited her son because of his autism, causing parents to throw shade at me. The parents that are staying offered to help with A, but they also have little to no experience with autistic children either. One parent on my side, A's mother, did this to her at her son's party, and he definitely is a handful, so not feel bad. So, AITA